Hi and welcome. In this video I want to talk about the eraser tool. Now it's going to be fairly short and sweet because it's not a tool that I use very often. Because of its destructive nature really, I prefer to use masking because it's non-destructive and it's reversible. But there will be times when you will need to use the eraser tool. So let's dig in. My name's Ken Fisher and this is LiveLink Training. Now the eraser tool is essentially a brush. So let's select it here in the toolbox. And here we can see we've got it stacked with the eraser, the background eraser and the magic eraser. Let's just go for the eraser tool. And now by clicking on this little down arrow here, we can change the size and the hardness of the brush. Now we can do this basically on the fly by using the square bracket keys. So we can make the brush bigger and smaller, or if you watch this little symbol up here, when I hold the shift key down and press the square brackets, it gets harder and it gets softer. Now next we've got the brush mode. Now we can select the brush mode. We've got a pencil mode and a block mode. Today let's just worry about the brush mode. We've got the opacity, and we can change the opacity by dragging on this slider, or we can use the keyboard shortcuts, and these are just the number keys. So if I press the 5 key, that'll change the opacity to 50%. If I press the 2 key, it'll change the opacity to 20%. If I wanted 35%, I'd just press the 3 and the 5 close together. Okay, and then I'll press 0 to go back to 100% again. Now we've got the flow. Now again, we can use the slider for that by clicking the little down arrow, or we can use another keyboard shortcut of shift and number. So shift and 5 will make the flow 50%, and shift and 2 will make it 20%, and shift and 3, 5 will make it 35%, and then shift and 0 we'll make it 100% again. Now a recent introduction to Photoshop is the smoothing slider, and this is really for smoothing the strokes off. But to be honest, unless you've got a really meaty beastie computer, this will slow your computer down. So if you do find that your brushing actions are lagging way behind, then turn the smoothing down to 0% and you should work a lot better. And the last one is erase to history, which we'll be looking at in a little bit more detail. Now if we go to the history panel, we can see here that at the moment we've got no history. Now I'm going to change that when we look at what erase to history actually does. Now just to see it in action, we'll leave everything as it is, 100% and 100%, and we'll have the brush. And we'll have a brush that's something like this size, which is about 150 pixels in diameter. And now if we click and drag, we'll see that we've got a fairly soft brush, but it's not actually erasing, it's just painting something. Well, this is because we're working on a background layer, or we have the lock transparent pixels button clicked. In either case, it will only allow you to erase to your background colour, which in this case is white. So let me undo that, and now I'll get rid of that padlock. So now I'm working on a normal layer, and now if I click and drag, you'll see it will erase to transparency. Now we'll just edit and undo just to come out of that. Right, this erase to history, what's that all about? Well, basically what you can do is you can erase and replace the pixels from a previous state in your history. Yeah, sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But let me just show you how it works. I have to say I've never actually used it in any constructive manner, but I'll show you how it works. So if we want to do something to this image, let's say we'll go to image and adjustments, and we'll do a levels adjustment, and we'll just pull the midtone, it doesn't matter what, we'll just darken the image down a little bit, and we'll click OK. And then we'll make another adjustment. We'll go to image and adjustments, and this time hue and saturation. And this time we'll just pull the hue round. So we get a pretty weird colour. Let's have some purpley coloured pencils. OK, and then we'll click OK. And then finally what we'll do image adjustments, and we'll desaturate the image. So now we've got a black and white image. Now let's go and have a look at the history. Now history, you can see that here we've made us a layer where we took the padlock off. We've done a levels adjustment, we've done a hue and saturation adjustment, and we've desaturated. So that's where we are now. But now if I want to say from my levels adjustment layer, paint in or replace the black and white pixels here by my levels pixels, then if I click in this little box here, you'll see that it puts in like a little history brush icon. And that means now that when I start painting or erasing, I'm going to be erasing to this portion of history. Okay, now I'm going to go up and I'm going to put a tick in erase to history. And then when I start drawing now, so I'll pick this pencil here and I'll start drawing. And what I'm doing now is I'm replacing the pixels, the black and white pixels, with the red pixels, or really the very vibrant pixels, from that second state in my history. And that can be useful. I haven't figured out a use for it yet, but it looks very useful. Well, that's it. Like I said, short and sweet. That was the eraser tool. I do hope you found it useful. If you did, please feel free to share the video around your friends, or give me a thumbs up and like my Facebook page. And if you want to leave a comment, leave it under the video, and that'll be absolutely super. And lastly but not leastly, please click that subscribe button at the end of the video and help me grow my Photoshop learning community. I'll see you in the very next video. Bye for now.